Montenegro might just be one of Europe's best kept secrets. It's tiny but somehow squeezes in dramatic fjords, medieval towns, mountains, beaches, wineries, basically all the good stuff. In this video, we're taking you through the 10 best things to do in Montenegro, and don't worry, this is not another video talking about the main places. We are diving deep. We'll share how to get to places, why you should visit them, and how to make the most of them. So whether you're already planning your trip or just curious why everyone is suddenly talking about Montenegro, stick around.
Let's start with one of Montenegro's most iconic landmarks, Ostrog Monastery. This monastery is just over 1 hour away from Podgorica by car. It's a very unique monastery because it's built straight into the face of a cliff, and honestly, it looks like something out of a fantasy movie. Once you see it, you'll probably think, how the hell was it built there?
This is an important pilgrimage site for Orthodox Christians, but don't worry, you don't have to be religious to appreciate its beautiful architecture. In this area, there are two monasteries, the Upper Monastery and the Lower Monastery.
Very creative names.
The upper one is the main one carved into the cliff with two buildings and two cave churches and a great view of the mountain range. If you visit during the peak season, you might need to queue to enter the church, but to make the most, it's best to go early in the morning because it can get very busy throughout the day.
We also read that you can sleep in the monastery, but obviously it's not a hotel experience. You sleep in bunk beds and there's a wake-up call at 5:30 in the morning.
Talking about hotels, we are going to share with you one of the most exclusive hotels in all of Europe. And the reason why we've included it in this video is because it's more than just a stay. It's more like an experience.
It's located in the Bay of Kotor and it's called Mamula Island Hotel by Banyan Tree. Bit of a
mouthful.
Yeah, thank you for taking it away.
Since we found it for the first time, it has been at the top of our bucket list. This hotel is in a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It's basically an old fortress that was repurposed into a luxurious retreat.
It's an entire island for just the hotel. And the best part is that there are only 32 rooms, which makes it an even more relaxing experience. Of course, you will get some of the best amenities you can ever find in a hotel, plus a private beach. Better.
To get to the island, the hotel arranges pickups with the guests so you can add another experience, riding on a boat in the Bay of Kotor. Of course, if you fancy splurging a little bit more, you can arrive by helicopter. Why not?
As you can imagine, luxury and tranquility do come at a price. Even if you don't stay overnight, you can often book a day trip or make a dinner reservation to experience the island. And it's definitely worth it. That's why we put it on the top 10.
We have left a link in the description so that you can easily check the hotel after this video. Number 3 is also in Kotor, so you don't have to go far. One of the main landmarks in Kotor is Kotor Old Town, which gets a lot of attention, and we totally get it because it is beautiful. Besides seeing the bay from the mountains, the best way to experience the bay is by boat.
There are plenty of boat tours which will take you to the towering mountains and all the villages in the shoreline. But realistically, you only have two options. You can either take a private boat tour where they will show you the Bay of Kotor and another place that we will mention later, or you can take a boat directly to an island called Our Lady of the Rocks.
We went to this island and it was beautifully unique. It's so tiny you can probably walk from one point to another in 3 minutes. But there is a church in the middle, and most importantly, you get to see the whole Bay of Kotor from a different perspective. These boat tours tend to vary, but for the private one, you can expect to pay around 35 euros, and if you are just visiting the island, it should be around 10 euros. Once you are done with the boat tours, try and visit a small town called Parast, which is where the boats will most likely drop you off at. There are churches, chapels, and it will be a really nice walk to end the day.
Just so we don't have to keep mentioning it, check the links in the description.
I will warn you though that these things sell out really quickly, so don't think too much about it.
Number 4. In this one, we will also be in the water, but in a completely different part of Montenegro. This time, we are going to travel all the way to the north of Montenegro, and actually to the border with Bosnia and Herzegovina, to a place called Tara River Canyon.
Having said this, we haven't mentioned it, but you will get to experience more of Montenegro renting a car. However, reaching this activity, you have to be careful not to cross borders, because this can be an issue with your rental car company. But don't worry, it will be very noticeable if you are about to cross it. Anyways, the Tara Canyon is the deepest canyon in Europe and the second deepest in the world after Grand Canyon. It's also a UNESCO World Heritage Site, but we don't just want to visit this beautiful canyon, we also want to try river rafting.
In Montenegro is one of the ultimate bucket list activities. You can find it in Google Maps, but there's a specific area where you can find a lot of companies offering this activity. However, the one that we recommend is Rafting Club Bodo Sastavik. We don't really know how to say it, but you'll be seeing it on the screen right now.
Apart from experiencing the adrenaline and seeing the blue water from up close, you also get food included. Can't get better than that. People do say that the rafts are not so extreme, so they are ideal if you are a beginner, just like us. If you are more of a hiker than a rafter, Montenegro is also for you. Durmitor National Park will be your green paradise or white, depending on what season you visit.
This national park is part of the Durmitor Mountain Massif, which is an area full of glacial lakes, pine forests, and very sharp peaks. Personally, the highlight is a black lake, but in contrary to its name, the Black Lake has crystal clear water and the most scenic landscape we've ever seen.
We went when it had just snowed and we could just see the peaks covered in white snow, the pine forest, the blue water. It was basically a postcard picture. I mean, we literally made postcards with all of our Montenegro pictures and gave it to all our family and friends. So cute.
In this area, there are many hiking trails, and we could speak forever about them. However, we found a page in the official website of the national park where it speaks about the best trails in this area. So make sure to check the link in the description. I can't stop saying it. I'm so sorry.
Force of habit. If you are feeling more adventurous, try including the climb up to Bobotov Kuk, the highest peak in Montenegro. We tried it and failed. But we felt like we won because we saw what the locals call the king of the mountain on the peak. It was such a magical moment. For number 6, we are changing national parks. This time we will travel high above Kotor to Lovćen National Park. It easily has the best views in Montenegro without any interruption. And when I mean views, I mean 360-degree views.
Of course, there are many wonderful hikes, but at the top of Lovćen National Park sits Njegoš Mausoleum, dedicated to Montenegro's national poet and ruler. A mausoleum is a landmark that houses a tomb, in this case Njegoš.
So to enter Lovćen National Park, you will need to pay a €3 fee, which in our opinion is totally worth it because of what you get to experience later. But anyways, getting there is very straightforward.
However, there is a trick. Some people just leave the car at the parking and then just hike up. This can be a lot of steps and there's also a very steep inclination in this hill. But if you drive to the top, you will find a roundabout. And just before it, you can park your car on that stretch that you'll see, and it's definitely much closer.
On a clear day, you can see almost all of Montenegro and sometimes even as far as Croatia and Albania. The entrance to the mausoleum is €8, but I think it's a really nice tribute to Njegoš, and once you visited the interior, you also want to walk to the viewpoint with the best views of the entire country.
Number 7. Remember when we mentioned earlier taking a private boat tour in the Bay of Kotor? Well, the other part of that experience is that they will also take you to the place that we are about to talk right now.
Montenegro is located in the Adriatic Sea, which is known for its blue water. The reason why it's so blue is because it's low in nutrients, so plankton doesn't grow. And thanks to this beauty, places like the Blue Cave exist.
It's such a stunning cave that neon blue light forms when the sun hits the water at the right time. As mentioned before, you will need to take a boat to get there, but most tours in Kotor include Our Lady of the Rocks and the Blue Cave in one.
To make the most of this experience, try visiting around morning or midday, because that's when the light is at its brightest. We still have 3 more things to do in Montenegro, but if you have reached this point and you are enjoying this video, we would hugely appreciate if you could drop a like and subscribe. But if you are not liking it, then hit the dislike button. There is a lot of time that goes into these videos, so your feedback really helps us. Let's go into number 8. If you are thinking of visiting Montenegro, you probably already know Lake Skadar, the largest lake in the Balkans, which is split between Montenegro and Albania. Well, this lake is surrounded by family-run vineyards and tiny fishing villages. We are going to recommend 2 locations, a fishing village and a winery.
There's a small fishing village called Garuk, which looks like it hasn't changed in centuries. Some roads are still unpaved, but the highlight of this village is a restaurant you can only reach by boat. But how do you get to this restaurant, you may ask? I think no one asks. But once you reach the village, you just have to walk to the small dock with all the boats, and there you'll be able to see the restaurant on the other side.
Once the restaurant staff sees you, they'll come pick you up and take you to the restaurant. So simple, but yet feels like such a unique experience. In this village, you can also take boat tours, rent a paddleboard, and even swim.
Now let's talk about wine. In Montenegro, a must-try wine is Vranac. This is a red wine originated in the Balkans, and more specifically in Montenegro. Another wine grape originated in Montenegro is called Gratosija. So where should you try this?
One of the most authentic wineries we found in the area is called Vineyard Jankovic. It is very remote, but worth it. Here you can go on a wine tour, try the local red wine, and learn more about the local grapes. We have to be honest, we haven't been there yet, but we read some of the reviews, and apart from being great, they have 103 reviews, all 5 stars. So I think that says a lot.
Let's go on to number 9. This one is one of the newest attractions that opened in 2023, and it is the Kotor Cable Car. The station is just outside of Kotor, near the Tivat airport, and in just 11 minutes, it takes you from the Bay of Kotor into Lovsen National Park.
A round-trip ticket is around 20 euros for adults, and I will warn you, I just checked the tickets today and they were completely sold out. So it seems to be a very good attraction in Montenegro. Once you reach the top, not only will you have some of the best views in the country, but there are also activities that you can do up there, like archery, there's an alpine coaster, playgrounds for children, and many other things. I'm not gonna list all of them.
But don't worry, according to their website, the coaster meets the highest European safety standards.
If you feel like you want extra excitement, you can also arrange a quad tour from the upper cable car station. So yeah, it sounds like an amazing and definitely different day out. But because it's new, we haven't been able to try it, but if you have, please share your experience in the comments because we would love to read them. The next one is not number 10, but just a quick bonus.
During the winter time, it snows a lot in the mountains, so not only can you ski, but you can also try snowmobiling.
Finally, let's talk about number 10. In this case, we'll need to head south to the beautiful town called Ulcinj, a town with a very different vibe from the rest of Montenegro. More specifically, you want to visit Ulcinj Old Town. This town was shaped by Greeks, Romans, and amongst other, the Ottoman Empire. So there's a pretty big blend of architecture and history.
It is a very stunning and unique town because it's within a fortress wall. So not only do you get to walk through a medieval town, but you also get the views of the sea. I'm gonna come up with a fun fact though. The old town used to be a pirate capital due to its location. It also has a deeper and maybe darker history, but we can't really share that on YouTube. So you will need to visit this place to learn about it.
Nearby, you've also got the longest beach in Montenegro, and guess what the name is? You know?
No?
Long Beach! Super creative. This beach stretches for 13 kilometers and it is perfect if you're after wide open sand and fewer crowds than Budva or Kotor. Make sure that whilst you are in Ulcinj, try their seafood. Apparently it's very well known there.
Guys, thank you so much for reaching until the end of the video. If you have, please subscribe, and if you've enjoyed the video, you will most likely also like this video.
Wake up early feeling rich like I'm Kesha. I get to the